This is Sparta!
Переламай йому хребта.
Zaporozhian Cossacks, free warriors of the steppes, masters of the saber and lightning-fast raids. Spartans, legendary soldiers of ancient Greece, fearless in the face of death. History never pitted them against each other. But what if these titans clashed face to face? Since the Cossacks lived in the 16th to 18th centuries and the Spartans thousands of years earlier, for fairness, we're taking away the Cossacks' firearms. No pistols or muskets, just sabers, spears, and bows. Who would remain standing? Today, we'll compare their weapons, tactics, societies, and fighting spirit to answer this question. Watch till the end to find out who would win, Cossacks or Spartans. Drop in the comments who you're rooting for. Let's start with the basics. Where did these warriors live? The Cossacks inhabited the vast steppes, where days are scorching, nights are freezing, and enemies lurk behind every hill. They hunted, fished, built fortifications, and even sailed their Chaika boats across the Black Sea. Life in the steppes taught them to survive extreme conditions, from blistering heat to winter blizzards. Cossacks could ride for days without losing their fighting spirit. And the Spartans? Their Sparta was the rugged lands of Greece, with a milder climate. They trained under the blazing sun, ran across rocky terrain, and lived in, you guessed it, Spartan conditions. Their upbringing, the agog, made them resilient to hunger, pain, and heat. But could they survive in the wild steppes, where there are no olives or vineyards? Cossacks were better adapted to harsh conditions and could survive without a base. Spartans are tough, but their training was more for war than surviving in the wild. Point to the Cossacks. Score 1-0.
Ти щось маєш йому сказати?
Можеш спитати, чого він тут дибає, як муха по сметані.
Now let's talk weapons. Cossacks were an arsenal on horseback. Sabers for lightning-fast attacks, spears for cavalry charges, and bows that could pierce enemies from dozens of meters away. Armor? Light, often leather, to keep their speed. Cossacks prioritized mobility over maximum protection. Spartans? They're the heavy infantry of dreams. A bronze shield covering half the body, a long spear for the phalanx, and a short sword for close combat. Their armor? Helmet, breastplate, greaves, the full package. But all that armor weighs like a small horse, and in the steppes a Spartan would be puffing like a locomotive. Spartans win on defense, but Cossack bows and speed give them the edge in mobile combat. Point to the Cossacks. Score 2-0.
Spartans never retreat! Spartans never surrender!
Тоді ще запитай його, чи не хоче він від мене в рило.
What if the fight took to the water? Cossacks had their chaikas, light maneuverable boats covered in leather. They chased down Ottoman galleys, boarded them, and even sank enemies. Chaikas carried up to 50 warriors and were as fast as a Cossack horse. Without muskets, they relied on bows and boarding attacks. Spartans sailed on triremes, massive warships with hundreds of rowers. These sea tanks could ram enemies and carry loads of warriors. But triremes are sluggish, and in the stormy Black Sea, Cossack chaikas could outmaneuver them like a sports bike passing a truck. Spartans are a force at sea, but Cossacks are masters of maneuver. Chaikas, with archers and boarding crews, take the lead. Point to the Cossacks. Score 3-0.
Leonidas.
Слухай, ти спиш чи, може, ти здох?
Tactics are the brain of war. Cossacks were geniuses of maneuver. Ambushes, night raids, flank attacks. They'd lure enemies into swamps or ravines, pepper them with arrows, and vanish into the steppes. Plus, they could build a wagon camp, an improvised fortress, in hours. Spartans, an iron phalanx, a tight formation where every shield protects the man next to it. On open ground, they'd crush anyone. But in the steppes, with no flat fields and Cossacks zipping around like lightning? The phalanx is a slow bear against a swarm of wasps. Spartans are great in formation, but Cossack cunning and speed are a cheat code. Point to the Cossacks. Score 4-0. How were these warriors trained? Spartans started at 7. The Agagi was a brutal camp where boys were beaten, starved, and taught to fear nothing, not even death. Defeat, shame. Death, glory. A Spartan came back with his shield or on it. Cossacks? Their childhood was the steppe, horses, and sabers. Boys learned to shoot bows, fight, and survive on campaigns. And then there's the Cossack spirit. Songs, brotherhood, a belief in freedom. Before a campaign, they'd party, then go cut down enemies with a smile. Spartans are war machines, but Cossacks fought with soul. For fighting spirit, point to the Cossacks. Score 5-0. Who kept order off the battlefield? Cossacks lived on the Sich, a democratic brotherhood where the leader was elected by vote. Everyone was equal, everyone a warrior. They could muster thousands of horsemen in days. Spartans? A rigid hierarchy. 2 kings, a council of elders, an army of citizens. Everyone lived for war, but only Spartan citizens fought, with helots and perioikoi as support. Spartan discipline was ironclad, but could it handle Cossack freedom? Spartans are order, but Cossacks are freedom that unites. Point to the Cossacks. Score 6-0.
Ой, чи пан, чи пропав, вічі не вмирати, ей, нумо, хлопці, до бою!
Now, let's imagine the fight. Scenario 1. Spartans land in the steppes. Cossacks pepper them with arrows, circle on horses, and disappear. The phalanx marches, but can't catch up. Cossacks win by attrition. Victory, Cossacks. Scenario 2. Cossacks in Greece. Spartans form up on a plain. The phalanx presses forward. Cossacks maneuver, but the mountains cramp their style. Spartans take the edge in a direct fight. Point to the Spartans.
Оженився.
Scenario 3. A sea battle. Cossack chaikas outmaneuver triremes, shower them with arrows, and board. Spartans fight hard but can't keep up. Victory, Cossacks. 2 scenarios for the Cossacks, 1 for the Spartans. Final score, 8-1 in favor of the Cossacks.
Оце ж тобі, царю, за байдину кару.
Zaporozhian Cossacks take the win with their speed, cunning, and versatility, even without firearms. Spartans are legends of discipline, but the steppes and sea are the Cossacks' domain. What do you think? Drop in the comments who you think would win and who you're rooting for. Like, subscribe, hit the bells, and stay tuned for more epic historical clashes.